This lawyer in downtown Buffalo also did advise me and recommended maybe I would look into a law company in Manhattan that was fighting a case at the time with Order House. And he suggested me, he gave me the numbers and so on and the address and the business card and told me I might want to check them out because they might want to do a group case. I did try to contact this firm, but I could have never get hold of them, so I squashed that and didn't proceed with that. Even lately, I received in 2018, around July or so, it's still in my email, requests to send the IRS tax number. And this is all believable. For 60 cents, is this madness, comedy, or what is it? I believe it's sophisticated criminology. It is a disgrace. It's too much advantage. It's too much criminology on my head. I have spent the money. I have wrote the book. It's my life story. They have robbed me, and they razzle-dazzling the IRS. To hell with them. They better straighten up the act because I am not kidding. I hope and pray to God that what they're giving to me and they're showing to me, the quarterly report that Order House is showing to me, I hope they're not showing it to the IRS. In a way, that's wishful thinking because why don't you show the history of the book? Why don't you show the historical part of the sales? How many the book sell? Where it was sold? The amount of money sold? Why are you putting in 3 and 4 things on there that are not supposed to be there and all sorts of things? Why don't you cut to the chase and present the quarterly report right? Instead of that, they're confusing what we did. They're not straightforward on your monthly account. For what I got from the bulk, it's not. It's not. What could I say? It's not. I have to say it like it is. It is not. They're not formatting the quarterly report right. It's a razzle dazzle. It's a shady business, like the dark horse in the race. That's what Order House is doing. So you will never know. Not even the government will know. Will never know who sold one of my books. What is this? What is this? Why should I take the rap for that? I'm not going to take the rap for that. So I'm going to come out and say, Clay, they are razzling, dazzling the IRS, and I'm not going to take the blame for it. What they're doing here, even though Order House is the one up front, they're inching the way up with the Samsung. And before you know it, let's say I hit some lotto, I get fortunate and win some money, they drop the hammer on me. I am not playing no game with American government with taxes. I am not playing no game with them. Okay? I was born British, and the British never treat me in Trinidad and Tobago. I born on 90, they never did. I am not letting this government take no advantage of me. And I will go as far as saying, and I believe this, and if the IRS want to charge me on these grounds, they could go quite ahead. I'll deal with that battle also. But I am saying here, right now, today is the 7th of September, 2018. Order House is making their books in a way, from what I see, what I have, to razzle dazzle the IRS. And probably for me to get sting. I can't see where the sting is coming in because it's so stupid the way they make up the books. But this is what I'm saying right now. The books that Order House is making, the way they format the account, the monthly account, they are razzle-dazzling the IRS. They're even razzle-dazzling the IRS through the different branches, the outlets, because that ISBN number is not circling back to them with sales. And what is showing up on the account is not right. So, I'm making myself clear because I am the one going to bear the burden. I'm the one who's going to have the heat on my butt. So there's a razzle dazzle going on there. It's corruption going down there right down the line for what I am seeing. You know, as far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of charges that should go forward right now because it stinks. Well, I said I'm not accusing the Attorney General. I'm saying his office, not him, his office. So if I misspoke there, I'm saying the Attorney General office. I would really like to research that, mainly because you hear so much about people doing drugs and committing crime, and they take amount of drugs or they're medical and they commit crime. But I really like, it interests me. What make you want to cold-heartedly piggy bank and do these things? What's the psyche behind that? Because you know about drugs. Let's know about this too. What make you do it? You know, it's very interesting in today's world. I find it's very interesting for me to want to to look into that. Very, really, really um something about that. Maybe why I want to, because I remember with the World Trade Center, the professionals, they came on the air and they was talking, and one panelist really upset me when he said, um, they were sophisticated criminals who did the World Trade Center crime. And I said to myself, but this man, why is he using sophisticated criminals? I mean, they're criminals, sophisticated. Where does the sophisticated come in? But maybe there's something to it. I don't know. But, you want to know the logic. I would like to know the logic. Why you cold-heartedly set up to jig up a thing to rob authors. I really want to know that. And then from the time authors start to look into it, then you shift the switch and suddenly pay for maintenance. And, the maintenance is paid up front a long time ago. I want to know what people have to write. There's a painful thing in my soul because I feel I have been taken really advantage of by Author House for the money and time and effort and the way I enjoyed writing my book. This turned out to be pain when I look at the advantage. Print on demand is money on demand. I pray to God that somebody will wake me up many times, and this is all a bad dream. This is an awful situation, and I want my money back. On my first web page that first book gave me back in 1998, it stated at the bottom that first book, which is Author House now, is the technology, one of the technology giants. And so I find it so hard, to really conceive that in a digital world that Author House do not have better accounting. I mean, that really is stuck in my brains. In this digital world, they who came out in 1998 with this technology, they can't keep better books. They can't make me believe that. They could not. They're scam artists. That's it. I don't know how Author House razzle dazzle the IRS, but I know they cannot razzle dazzle me, because I know with the 25,000 book distributors, each one have to state when they sell a book. Each one, when they distribute a book, it have to, the yes number have to show. That must show up as at the IRS office. It must show, because it is a sale, and that is what selling is about in America, especially when it's going through distributors like that. It must show, it must report, and it have to return to the writer, to the author. It must show, it doesn't matter. And the lifetime, the amount of books this was sold from this particular book, the E is separate from the bond book. It must show the lifetime. X amount was sold for X amount of dollars. That's the way to, and then you break it down whether the sale went high, low, or indifferent, and taxes was, and how many royalties. But what Author House is doing is criminology. A blind person could see it. Yes, when I answered the phone from Eugene Hopkins, he came on bullying and very obnoxious, and it set me back for a second or two. He was that way, like to intimidate me. And it is said what a person believes is don't have to be true, but I believe that Order House is targeting Caribbean people. This is my belief. I might be wrong, but in dealings with me, the way it was dealt, even if you throw out the special interest people who I believe rally around them, no, it is like, I was not supposed to ask. The way Eugene Hopkins talked to me on the phone is like he was ready to belittle me. And that is not being sensitive. The man was a total pig when he answered the phone. Like, I'm supposed to talk to him. I'm supposed to talk to him. Now, the Attorney General office is my lawyer. If I had do a private lawyer, would you tell the private lawyer that you want to talk to me? You could ask. Maybe you could talk to this woman. You could ask the private lawyer to maybe, and you know what he will say. You know what I mean? So why bully to talk to me? The Attorney General office is the law. So his intention, I believe in my heart, the way he came out, is to bully a Caribbean people because a person like me. This is my feeling about it. And I said, well, he could go to hell. Really, the man is obnoxious. You're making the lump sum and you're not keeping right books. That's I don't understand that. Then it seems to me that the only thing you were interested in is for me to put my money out there and no return for me. To me, that is a scam artist, and a scam artist, they don't want you to come after them. They want you to forget everything. After they get that money, you must get scared and forget them. I want my money back. Why should a publisher in Vanity Press make more money on my property or anybody property for that instance? Why should he make more money than I? And if I have to add it up or sum it up that way, yes, because I paid you to do so. It should be it should be a one-on-one, a break-even sort of a situation. In that case, if you have to say they're providing the know-how how to do it right, it should be a 50-50 deal, at least, or a 60-50 deal. Why should they make the bulk? I don't, look, excuse me. I will stress again, do not buy my book. If you see it on sale anywhere, squatted, do not buy it. And I just want to mention, last year, I believed this with all my heart, that Author House put a crank on me. They had somebody doing ebooks call me up, which is book on demand, call me up to switch over. But the way the person called, like, like you're a movie star or something, I got a good offer for you, one you can't resist, and all this sort of a stale man pitch. I born selling, I born selling in Laventille Hills. I born selling. I grew up selling. So they want to give me a sale pitch that they're going to publish this book for less than $10. So bottom line, I said no. So, well, why not? I said, no, well, I'm already in the pot. Why jump in the fire? Why am I jumping out from? I can't meet your sense. And I particularly is really upset about writing this book. This book hasn't bring me any joy. I am disgusted about it. The thing is that is tying me down is Author House went and get the ISBN number. Now, for me to start over again at my age, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go and have to find an ISBN number, get a cover, and all this kind of thing. So with an ISBN number, they could control this fax. So this is why I make this video, because they are control freaks. They want to control everything. You understand this? So please don't buy this book. Anybody see it out there, don't buy it. I know the word slave doesn't probably hold on to a book, but indeed it is that what it is doing, because I am not getting any return onto this. And besides that, I think they are bad business people. Meanwhile, while the so-called investigation is going on, I got this call from Eugene Hopkins, and I refused to talk to him. He said, "Oh well, you only say you want to sue me. What could I do for you?" And blah blah blah. I don't want to talk to him. I'm not qualified to talk to a hard-notch lawyer. I'm not. What you trying to do? Intimidate me? Why? Why should I talk to you? I know a little bit of the law in America. What you say could be held against you. I know that much. I'm a damn fool going in there without a lawyer in the first place. What the hell I want to talk to you now for at this stage? When I contacted the Attorney General to do that for me, that's their job. They're the mediator between both of us. It's not you and me. It's not one. It's you and the Attorney General office, not I and you. Actually, I felt good not talking to that big bully because he know very well he didn't have no right to call me to try to talk to me. He knows the law. He's the general manager for the worldwide established distribution of Order House. Why you want to talk to me? Talk to Order House. Talk to the Attorney General office because you denying that I don't have a contract. You send me 60 cents. Why should I talk to somebody who's denying a contract? Why should I talk to a bully like that? I mean, the man is nuts. Well, I thank God that I am not a gunslinger, but I have 2 baseball bats. And I know a bit about football because I'm a big Giants fan. And I'm going to tell you, I know shotgun when I see it. Order House and the Attorney General office went shotgun on my case. Order House never told me they were going to get the ISBN number. They just went along, got it without my consent, not even telling me they were going to do so, and then they sent it in the mail. So I never knew that this was being done until I got it in the mail, and it had already been done. That's when I lived out in Massachusetts, when I turned the book into bond, what is, print on demand. So Order House operates without questioning or asking, and they do a lot of bands. But then I'm to blame also. Understand? But the reason for they to take this ISBN number, I found out, is that they can control. Because again, it moved back to I am the sole owner because I have the right as a writer, and I have a right as a copyright writer registering before I even send it to them. They should have asked that question. So I would like anybody who know what I should do right now to let me know, because I would like my property. It's my property. This is from the time I was born, so I acknowledge myself as a woman, me, my children, my work around the world, all sorts of stuff. This is my property. I brought my property to America, and it is being vandalized and put as slave in America. And I am really upset about it because I feel strongly about it. It's like if I've been raped of my property. And that is what it is, because it's a biography. It came from my personal diary of my life, and this is what they have done to it. So to me, this is a big advantage. I'm not saying that they're alone in it, and I'm not going to go into hypothetical and all these kind of things. I have no time for that because I don't know what other people are thinking. I do not want to know what another person is thinking. I don't play that game. I am nowhere there close to that. But what I'm saying, it may be they're not alone of it, because I have other registered work in at least one more, and another one that I try to register that I would show later on, that could probably bring in this jam session into Order House, and they might have been bullied by certain special interest people. It is quite a possibility, but that have nothing to do with that. That is a separate registration and a different writing. This writing is my personal biography. If my children in Trinidad could tell any story as they get old, they would always say, my mother was always writing. They would always say that. They grow up, they saw that like bread on the table. that they always had writing materials, always writing this book. So they grew up with me writing this book. This is a very personal book to me. It is my diary as a young woman. That's what women did back then. They kept a diary. I'm 73 years old. This is what we do. Author House is the devil, man. They're the devil people. Excuse me, but Eugene Hopkins, no, he had no right to call me. If he wanted to talk to anybody on the Attorney General file, have Jean Sabelli. That's the woman at Author House that I contacted. I talked to Jean Sabelli. Now she works at Author House. Her name is on the Attorney General complaint. He was supposed to talk to her, question her, find out the details of what we discussed. She denied that I have a contract. Now, then go back to the Attorney General. I am not in it. Once I forward everything to the Attorney General, don't try to talk to me. Don't try to squeeze my head now. I mean, the man, as far as I'm concerned, this Jim Hopkins man, I don't know who he is, except I know he's the devil, but I have a feeling he sat. This man Hopkins, he sat the bar associate as a lawyer probably, but I believe he was booed because we call those kind of people babu. In the old African culture, they're babus, meaning they said the thing, they failed and they got booed because he acting as a total jackass trying to call me for my own property and put me down and put me under his feet. And I say he can go to hell. Thank you.